James Bond has been a franchise for 58 years, raking up 26 films. And with that, there is a very mixed level of quality. And with the 27th installment, No Time to Die, coming in cinemas soon, I thought now would be a great time to rank all of the Bond films. This will include all 26 of the Eon series films, as well as the Casino Royale parody film released in the 60s, and also Never Say Never Again, the unofficial Bond film. I, however, will not be including that one-off episode of Climax, and of course I'm not going to be including No Time to Die because it isn't out yet. However, with that said, I'm obviously going to have to abbreviate this video a lot, so I'm not going to give the most detailed reasoning behind this, mostly because I don't want this video to be 45 minutes long. But with that said, let's begin. Number 26, we have A View to a Kill. This was a really boring experience. Roger Moore kind of just fell asleep throughout the entire of the movie, and as well as that, it's just got a really stupid plot of trying to level the Earth. Christopher Walken played a really stupid villain. Ultimately, I just couldn't get behind this one. Not only was it incredibly stupid, but it just felt autopilot. It felt way too sleepy and boring for me to be invested. Number 25, we have Casino Royale from 1967. This is a parody Bond film, and it's also way too long, and I really can't tell what it was going for. A lot of the jokes don't land anymore, a lot of the sequences last too long. It just doesn't hold up anymore. Number 24, Moonraker. This is possibly the stupidest Bond film I have ever watched. I like Jaws, that's about the only good thing in Moonraker. I think that the things they do with Jaws are horrific in this one. I think the idea of them going to space was ridiculous, and whilst there's some nice charm here, the plot is just way too stupid for me. Number 23, speaking of too stupid, we have Die Another Day. This is my guilty pleasure of the Bond series. I actually love this movie, but also I can accept that it's kind of terrible. The plot is ridiculously stupid. It involves plastic surgery, turning a Korean man into a white man who smuggles diamonds and then wants to use those diamonds to create a laser to melt the ice caps. You really can't make this stuff up, but trust me, it's hilarious. Number 22, Diamonds Are Forever. This is Sean Connery's last official Bond film, and it really is one to sell it out in my opinion. Speaking of sellout, Sean Connery really didn't care when it came to this movie. The plot is really stupid, and in terms of all the directing and action sequences, it's very forgettable. Number 21, speaking of forgettable, we have Quantum of Solace, a film that script was designed to be empty. It's a sequel to the first Daniel Craig film, Casino Royale, and it just didn't really land at all. The direction and editing is kind of nauseating in this film, and a lot of the plot is incredibly forgettable, and it kind of just lies on the wayside when compared to the films that it's sandwiched between. Number 20, For Your Eyes Only. I can hardly remember anything about this movie, and that's kind of the reason why it's down here. There's just nothing that memorable. I remember some stuff about skiing and some other stuff, but for the most part, it's not memorable in the slightest. Number 19, Spectre. This had the potential to be one of the best Bond films, and they kind of stood on all that potential by making it really, really dull. I like the opening sequence. I like some of the ideas they have in the plot, but it just drags on so much. They try and make it way too personal. I thought they did a terrible job with Blofeld in this film. Daniel Craig feels like he's sleepwalking through the film. It just didn't work. Number 18, we have Tomorrow Never Dies. I like the Bond girl in this, and other than that, there is really nothing that memorable about it. A lot of the themes and like villains of this are just very generic. A lot of the plot feels stitched together, which is due to a lot of production woes. It did entertain me for some parts, but it was also incredibly dull. Number 17, Octopussy. Somehow a film named Octopussy isn't at the bottom of the list, but nonetheless, this film still is pretty goofy. The end of it involves Roger Moore dressed up as a clown, trying to inform some people at the circus that a bombing thing is going to go on. The thing that I can give it the benefit of the doubt with is it knows it's stupid, but that also doesn't shield it from the fact that it's stupid. Number 16, The World Is Not Enough. This is a very mixed bag of a Bond film. I think it has one of the worst performances in any Bond film ever in Denise Richards. It has a villain in Robert Carlyle. I think the plot was actually pretty decent. Some of the set pieces were good. I liked the beginning stuff and how cold Bond is in this film, but it's just a very strange mishmash. I like the first half of the film a lot more than the second half, and because of that it just leaves me in an overall mixed bag. Number 15, Thunderball. Thunderball is a film that when I watched it I was like, yep, it's pretty good, and I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Its plot is fairly generic. I really like a lot of the action sequences in this movie. Villain, fairly forgettable. A lot of the franchise tropes are starting to get on me a little bit at this point, but beyond that, it's still pretty fun. Number 14, The Spy Who Loved Me. Again, I've got mixed thoughts on this movie. Like I said, I like the idea of Jaws, and I feel like he's used properly in this one. I feel like the relationship between Moore and the main Bond girl was pretty well used. The pacing was fine, the villain was fine. A lot of this movie is just fine for me. It just lands in that middle ground, really. Number 13, the one that started it all, Dr. No. I mean, this did a really good job with Sean Connery's Bond, and in terms of just one film's representation of Bond, I think Dr. No is honestly up there. I like a lot of the direction here. Is the villain a bit stupid? Yeah. Is the finale not great? Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. It's setting up the groundwork, and I think it really succeeded at that. Number 12, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. This is the only George Lazenby film, and it's alright. I don't love this as much as other people do, but I can respect that I did enjoy it. I think it's mostly because George Lazenby just didn't really click with me the same way that Sean Connery did. He just felt too nice, too soft for me to really enjoy him. Blofeld in this was alright. I do like a lot of the snow-based action sequences. I think the intrigue elements are done quite well, but it's just the story failed to leave a huge amount of an impression. And more than that, Bond himself failed to leave an impression on me. Number 11, The Man with the Golden Gun. This was a pretty entertaining movie. Some plot elements are really weirdly weaved in, but I don't really care because at the end of the day, Roger Moore was really fun in the role. I really liked Christopher Lee as the villain, and ultimately their rivalry worked quite well. Number 10, You Only Live Twice. I know I'm criticising a lot of these Bond movies for being dumb, but I feel like this is the dumb elements done right, where you get a 6'2" Scottish guy to put makeup on to become Asian. It would not get made today, but nonetheless, I feel like this movie was really entertaining. I like the pace that it set, I like that it went to a different part of the world, and this is the first ever proper appearance of Blofeld in the Bond series. Number 9, Never Say Never Again. This was Connery's last outing, and technically it's unofficial. And given the fact that Sean Connery's pretty old in this, he still has a lot of charm to him. I really liked Max von Sydow and Rowan Atkinson in this movie. Yes, it does steal the plot of Thunderball, but to be honest, I think in execution it actually does it better. Number 8, From Russia with Love. This, I feel like, was the direction that is closer towards quintessential Bond than Dr. No was. I really liked the villain, I liked a lot of the intrigue in this, all the gadgets that are in this, the action sequences are really fun, the relationship between Bond and the Bond girl are really good. Yeah, this is a really enjoyable one. Number 7, speaking of enjoyable, we have The Living Daylights. Again, this gets a really nice mash between fun and serious Bond. I think that Timothy Dalton made a really good impression in this movie. I really like a lot of the supporting cast. It does feel a bit same old in terms of the plot it treads, but the direction's really good and it just holds together with some really great action sequences and some really great characters. Number 6, Live and Let Die, Roger Moore's first film, and it is a blast. For starters, I really like the Paul McCartney Live and Let Die song. But as well as that, yeah, some plot elements are stupid, but I'm okay with that. Roger Moore showed a lot of charm, the action sequences are great, it's got a thrilling plot that's actually quite unique, and yeah, I love this movie. Number 5, License to Kill. This is probably the darkest that Bond ever got, and man, they really sold it. The action sequences are incredible in this movie, there's a lot of personal stakes in it, I love what they do with Bond in this movie. Timothy Dalton gives a really good performance as Bond in here. yeah, it's just an utter treat. I really like what they do with the plots, and because of that, it had to be a number 5. Number 4, Goldeneye. This is a movie that's nostalgic to a lot of people, and I can say it holds up. I really liked Alec Trevelyan, played by Sean Bean. I thought he was a really good villain in this movie. I thought it did an excellent job introducing us to Pierce Brosnan's Bond. I think that a lot of the supporting cast are really solid. The plot's pretty good. It has a lot of originality, and the action sequences, wow, they are great. Number 3, Skyfall. This movie gives me goosebumps. For starters, I think it's some of the best direction we've seen in Bond, and by far the best cinematography. Roger Deakins did a fantastic job. It's just a thrilling plot that pushes every character to its limit. I like its focus on M in this movie. I think Javier Bardem made for a great villain. The production design and all the action sequences were fantastic, and Skyfall by Adele is one of the best Bond songs out there. Number 2, Goldfinger. This is Sean Connery's finest Bond film out there, and this movie is absolutely thrilling. Honestly, there is nothing that really holds this movie back. I think it holds up perfectly. I think that Goldfinger made for a fantastic villain. I feel like Sean Connery was firing on all cylinders. I feel like the direction was great. A lot of the action sequences were really good. It's well paced, it's a very smart script, and also it has the Aston Martin DB5 in it, which is quintessential Bond. And number 1, we have Casino Royale, Daniel Craig's first movie from 2006, not to be confused with the one I mentioned at 25. And yeah, I just love this movie. The pacing is phenomenal. I really like a lot of the tension in it. The action sequences are brilliant. There's a lot of personal stakes in it, but most of all, I really like how it strips back Bond, develops him properly, brings him down to his core elements. It just does a great job with that. I think Vesper Lynd is a great Bond girl. I think that the Casino Royale segments are actually done really well. There's some great editing, some great directing. Very underrated song by Chris Cornell in this movie. And this movie is just an utter treat. This is the best of all worlds on Bond, and because of that, it is without a doubt my favourite Bond movie. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your favourite and least favourite Bond movies down below. And yeah, I did have to shorten down a lot of the reasonings for why I like these movies and dislike these movies. But to be fair, this video would be ridiculously long, so if you want me to do more in-depth reviews, let me know down in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, be sure to subscribe and like this video as well. Follow me on my Twitter at MrChicken4321, and I'd also quickly like to add that I don't actually know if No Time to Die is going to keep its release date of November. I hope it does, because otherwise this video will feel really out of place. I'm still going to release it anyway, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.